What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings after Liverpool have beaten Ipswich by 4 goals to 1, a result that solidifies our place at the top of the Premier League. Other results in and around us today see Nottingham Forest trounced 5-0 by Bournemouth at the Vitality, and of course we go there next Saturday to take on the former club of Richard Hughes. And then Arsenal won by 1-0 against Wolves, both sides in the end down to 10 men, and Arsenal with a 1-0 victory. So on this video I'm going to go through giving the referee, the players, the substitutes and our manager all a score out of 10. Feel free to play along in the comment section if you'd like. You're going to see two scores. The one in the upper right hand corner of the image will be the Anfield Agenda audience average score. Thank you to everyone that submitted their player ratings in our match reaction video. And then the big score you're going to see in the middle is, of course, my own one. Now, we wouldn't be here today without our incredible sponsors, and thank you so much to our friends at Manscaped. Why not treat yourself to something new, something special this January, and get yourself 20% off and free shipping of the Chairman Pro Package Face Shaving Kit from Manscaped. As I mentioned, you can get 20% off and free shipping, not just on this, but store-wide at manscaped.com by using our code Anfield20 at checkout or by scanning the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner. Right, let's get straight into it because there's a lot to get through. We're going to start off with the referee, and I believe this was, I think, his first Premier League game. And he should have shown a red card in it, because that's the big mistake for me in this one. That challenge on Endo, I thought was probably worthy of a red. But other than that, the referee had some calls, as always. We'll disagree with some that we will agree with. But I think I'm going to give him a score of 5. And you guys have gone a little bit higher, a bit more generous than me, with an average score for the ref of 5.9. Now we move on to Alisson Becker. And I found this a difficult score because he made one really good save. The goal, I don't think there's much he could have done about that. But other than that, he didn't have too much to do today. They had 3 shots on target in total. One of them a goal, one an Alisson save, and one a straightforward save for him. So what I've gone for is giving Ali a score of 7. And the Anfield Agenda viewers' average score a little bit higher with 7.2. Feel free to let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that one. Next up, the scouts are in our team today, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I thought this was a very, very accomplished performance from Trent. I thought he played brilliantly today. I thought he imposed himself on the game, had a beautiful cross as well for Cody Gakpo's header, and I've got absolutely zero complaints about Trent today, defensively or in attack. So I've given Trent a score today of 8.5, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone a little bit lower, but still a good score for Trent with an average score of 8. Next up, Ibrahima Kanade. I thought Arnold could have taken him off to get a breather. We know that he's playing with some pain in his knee. So I thought maybe bring Kwanzaa on there would have given him a chance to rest him up. But he was good. You know, we didn't have too much to do today with Virgil. Again, the goal, from the best of my memory, it was Harvey Elliott's man that was lost for the header. But I thought Ibu did well today, as he always does, because he's a class act. So today I've given Ibrahima Kanade a score of 7. And the Anfield Agenda audience have gone a bit higher. You guys thinking a 7.9 is a better fit. Now to our captain, Virgil van Dijk, who is just... Has there been a more dominant aerial defender than this man? I can't remember the last time he lost an aerial challenge. Honestly, he's so good at it. And then, you know, to see our centre-back so deep into the opposition half for most of the game as well, as we're holding such a high line and pressing and condensing the game, I thought Virgil was really good today. I thought he was slightly the better of the two centre-backs, and for that reason, I've given Virgil a 7.5. And you guys, again, a little bit higher, an average score of 7.8. Next up, Andy Robertson. And I thought it was a good game from Robbo. You know, there's not many people out there on that pitch today whatsoever that I think put in a poor shift, and certainly Robbo wasn't one of them either. So I thought it was a good game from Andy Robertson, and I like the fact that Arna is rotating between the two of them, and I think it'll get the best out of both. So today, I've given Robbo a 7, and you guys, slight bit higher, but we're in the same ballpark with an Anfield Agenda audience score of 7.2. Now into midfield, Gravenberch, and again, great to see him get a breather at 66, I think, when Endo came on. And look, he was doing what he always does, make breaks from midfield, bossing the game, controlling the tempo, everything that you expect from Ryan Gravenberch. And I know we say this every week, but to me, without doubt, he's been the player of the season so far. Today, I've given him a 7.5 for my score, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone a little bit higher again with a score of 7.9. Alexis McAllister. This was the one today I struggled the most with. There's always one player in every player ratings that I'm looking for some lead from the Anfield Agenda audience, and in the comments to let me know if I was right or wrong. I think he was okay, but not his best game for us. And I think of the midfield trio, he's probably the weaker of the three today. So for that, I've given him a 7. And the Anfield Agenda audience, you guys have been quite consistent today with the 7.5s and above. You've gone for a score for Alexis of 7.9. Again, in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you agree with my 7, or do you think the Anfield Agenda audience score is a better one? Dominic Soboszlai. This one's easy. He was brilliant. He was the Anfield Agenda man of the match, voted for by you guys. I would be slightly different. I think it was a 2-horse race, and I think he just came below GAKPO for me. But it was an incredible performance and a wonderful, wonderful goal. If you haven't seen the goal yet, you're in for a treat. He sells a bit of a dummy with his right foot, gets onto his left and drills it low into the corner. And he had a really good game today and imposed himself on the opposition. Looked like he was having fun out there. I've given him a score of 9, and you guys have given him a score of 9.1. Mohamed Salah, again, felt like we could have given him a breather as the game went on. He'd got himself a goal in the first half, and a very well taken goal. I thought in the start of the game he was looking like he was trying to make stuff happen a bit too much, but then as the game went on, I thought he imposed himself on it a bit more. Some lovely passes in the second half. He has this slide rule pass that he plays towards the byline, and it's glorious when you see it happening, and he does it 2-3 times a game. So I thought Mo was good today, but not brilliant, so I've given him a 7.5. And the Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a 7.9. Cody GAKPO. I thought he was brilliant. And again, 2 very different but very impressive goals. One, he showed his striker instinct to follow in after the keeper parried it. And the second one is just a great delivery from Trent and a very good header, giving the keeper no chance. So delighted for Cody to get himself a brace today. Obviously going back to his former club now on Wednesday, PSV Eindhoven in the last Champions League game. And today I gave him a 9, same as SZOBOSZLAI, but if I was pushed, I would give Cody GAKPO the man of the match, and you guys pretty close as well, with a score for Cody of 8.9 from the Anfield Agenda viewers. Moving on now to Lucho Diaz. I didn't think he was great today. I thought he looked a bit better when he was pushed out on the left after Darwin came on, and I'm just not really fully convinced by him through the centre. I feel way more comfortable when he's out on the left, and I think he probably does as well. But that being said, it's to his own credit that he's able to play through the centre, and that Arnold feels he can utilise him there. It's great having him on the pitch at any time. But today, I've gone for a score of 6.5 for Lucho, because I wasn't overly impressed with him today, in all honesty. And the Anfield Agenda audience have gone a little bit higher with a score of 6.9. Now we move on to Arturo Endo, and delighted to see him get up relatively unscathed after that challenge. It was one where the foot was high, and he was hit with an elbow. Now, I say hit with an elbow. I don't feel the guy threw the elbow or anything like that. But it did make connection with him as the bodies collided. And I'm glad that he got up. Look, Endo is solid as she goes. Steady as she goes. Reliable, dependable. Comes on and does what he does and does it well. So I've given him a score of 7 today, which is exactly the same. And I should point out again, I don't see the audience's scores before I start this video, so I'm learning about their scores at the same time you are. So for me, I've given him a 7, and the audience agree with a 7. Harvey Elliot. You know how big a fan I am of Elliot, but I did not think he impacted that game today when he came on. In fact, I have a memory of 2 or 3 passes going astray early doors, and he has had few chances this season, but that's not going to be a performance for me in the brief time he was on that's going to get in the manager's mind. He's going to need to do a little bit better than that. And I say this as a big Harvey Elliot fan, but I tried to be honest in my assessment. So today I've given him a 6.5, and I think you guys are similar. You guys have gone for a score for Harvey Elliot of 6.1. Next up, Darwin Nunes. Again, I've been somebody who's spoken about the impact he has had in recent weeks, and I've been happy to see it. But I don't think we or he did too much after he came on today. I certainly don't remember him having many opportunities to impact the game. So taking that into consideration, I've gone for a 6. And again, good to see that the audience is thinking similarly, with an Anfield Agenda average score of 6.2 for Darwin. Jaden Dans, and it was lovely to see him come off the bench so early, 15-20 to go I think. Would have loved to have seen Chiesa on at the same time. But every time I watch this kid, I more and more believe that he's the real deal. And his movement in the penalty area is top notch. He really does look like a proper player for the future. Hard to really give him much of a score today in the brief time he was on, because we didn't do too much from an attacking sense. But he looked lively, he looked bright, and I've given him a 6.5. The Anfield Agenda audience, a little bit less, with an average of 6.1. Chiesa, I'm going to say what everybody else is thinking. Why aren't we seeing more minutes from Federico? Especially in games like today where it was sewn up relatively early. 5 minutes isn't going to get him match fit. 5 minutes isn't going to give him a chance to win the manager or anybody else over. And I can only assume that he isn't a signing the manager really wanted, and that it was one that was done above his head, because he's had long enough to get fit. He's been on the bench for a while, and we just keep seeing 4 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Hopefully he gets a chance against Eindhoven to start. But for this one, I've gone with a 6 because, of course, you know, he's only on for a handful of minutes. And the Anfield Agenda audience with a 6.1. And last, but of course by no means least, as I always say, our manager, Mr. Arnold, who did what we all wanted today. I'm sure he'll be as frustrated as you and I and everybody else that we didn't keep the clean sheet. But we did go out, score plenty in the first half, put the game to bed, and he was able to make some changes and rest up a few players ahead of what is a very difficult week coming up. PSV Eindhoven in the final league game in the Champions League, and then of course Bournemouth away at the Vitality next Saturday. So keep it going, Arna, and today I've given him a score of 8 because I don't think he did anything, if much, wrong, and got the result. So thank you, manager. Head coach. And 8.3 from the Anfield Agenda audience. So that brings to an end our player ratings video today, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's over to you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. And of course, do hit that subscribe button as we're heading toward 300,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 296, which we just hit today. Thank you so much for that. And of course, to our sponsors, Manscaped. A reminder, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with a code Anfield20. Use that at checkout or scan the QR code. So, there will be more content out later on this evening. I'm still unsure if we'll have a 8:30 stream or if it'll be a news video. But do keep your eye out anyway, because something will be happening later on the channel. And whether it's a video or a stream, as of yet, I don't know. But thank you to you all again for your support and what's been a very tough week. Lots of people feeling different things about the ownership structure of the club. But I really appreciated your support. And again today, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.